Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to this is the second edition of Rails Minute. I'm Dan Bostrom, Rails Member Engagement Manager, and I'm here with Deirdre Brennan, Rails Executive Director. Rails Minute is all about just trying to find you new ways to give you information about what is happening with Rails and Rails libraries during this time. So we try to bring you a short video each week to cover some of the developments. Deirdre, thanks for joining me. It's maybe week 6 of working at home. So maybe you can just talk about how your schedule or work routine has changed, and do you feel like you're in a groove at this point?
I probably shouldn't say this, but it's week 8. We're in week 8. I know, right? So I figured that out today. Maybe I shouldn't have, but actually, am I in a groove? I'll tell you one thing that's improved my situation a bit. I'm a big Pilates user, fan, believer, and I couldn't. I mean, obviously, I haven't been able to go to Pilates, but I found some really good online virtual Pilates workouts. So that's making me feel better, sort of psychically as well as physically. So, and the weather's better. At least it was over the weekend. So that helps.
That does
So
help.
I don't know if that's a groove, but it's something.
So there's a group of library organizations and stakeholders that are working on COVID-19 research. We've heard that there's going to be an announcement later this week. What do you expect to hear?
Yes, the Institute for Museum and Library Services, IMLS, has taken on the leadership of a group project that covers museums as well, obviously, because even though libraries and museums are different in how we treat materials and visitors, there's a lot of similarities as well. So this group is working on some authoritative developing authoritative standards for the safe handling of materials. It includes OCLC, which is going to be responsible for a training component and the communication component, and also Battelle Labs in Columbus, Ohio, which is a research organization that this is kind of in their wheelhouse to do this kind of research. So there's a lot to look at, obviously, but I'm on the steering committee. There's a meeting tomorrow at 10, and what they're looking to do is to first collect what it is that libraries need to know, like what we need to think about in terms of reopening materials, as well as staff, as well as patrons. So I'm not exactly sure when the first phase of that work will be done, but I think it will be sometime, May, June. I'm going to say June, but I know they're working as fast as they can. So I probably will have more of an update after, later this week, but I put some information on our Pulse page today and also on the director's list about it. So I hope everybody just stays tuned. I mean, the main point is we're all trying to figure this out. We are all obviously very focused on keeping people safe, both our staff and the patrons, and just moving as expeditiously as is safe. So that's what I can tell you today. Hopefully things will start to come out of this group soon.
Great. What else would you like staff from member libraries to know about what Rails is doing and what's going on around the system?
Sure. Well, as a matter of fact, we are working with the Heartland Library System, and ILA to set up a Zoom meeting, because what other kinds of meetings are there, right? There's only Zoom meetings, with a webinar and a Q&A as well for trustees, for public library trustees all across the state. And that is, this is hot off the presses. That is scheduled for May 14th at 2 p.m. An invitation will be going out to trustees and directors, staff, obviously, as well. But we want trustees to have the information at their fingertips that they can talk about at their board meetings, because obviously, they're the ones who make the ultimate decisions with staff guidance. It's obviously for closing libraries or opening libraries or whatever, the services that are going to be provided. So it's really important that the trustees be as informed as possible, because they are as I say, not only the decision makers, but also our chief advocates for, explaining what we're doing to the community and the, potential budget fallout when that comes as well, which unfortunately I expect there will be some.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, the last question, we try to use member questions. We haven't had any yet, so if you do have any, let us know. You can put them in the comments, or you can email them to us at communications@railslibraries.info. So the question we have, last question, is tomorrow. Actually, this is National Library Legislative Day. And we wish we could all be in DC right now talking to legislators. So meanwhile, when we're stuck at home, what can libraries do to participate in this event?
Well, the American Library Association has put together events for this entire week. It's like a week-long virtual library legislative week. If you go to the ALA website, there's lots of virtual activities. There's some trainings that are available. There's, I think on Thursday, ALA is doing a mock meetup with legislators, which I think, that's always something that people are wanting more information about. There's a whole lot of information there, and I think absolutely this is, library advocacy is always important. It needs to be an everyday activity, just a regular part of our lives and our work, but particularly now, and without the ability to go to Washington and talk to people face to face, it would really be great if our listeners and our colleagues could log on and get in touch with their legislators by phone or by email. I know I'm going to do it, and I hope everybody will. It's so important.
Awesome. Okay, well, that's it for Rails Minute. Thanks again, Deirdre, and have a great week.
Thanks, Dan. Bye.
Bye.